Okay, Jim Parquet here with VPX Baseball, and I want to talk to you today about your load, right? Check out our other videos on the load and how to become more efficient and get more advanced tips on it, but for now, we're going to just start to dive into it, right? At the big league level, I train quite a bit at the pro, NCAA, youth baseball, and I do a lot of hitting. Now, I was a pitcher, but obviously it was my job to understand hitting inside and out, and to always stay one step ahead of you so that way I didn't give you your pitch, right? I did that by understanding how the body moved while you were swinging and what cues I could take from that in order to understand where to exploit you in that frame or throughout the entire frame, right? And one of those was with your load, okay? So in your load, we see this, okay? We see good hitters staying stacked, right? And staying stacked is really simple. All you gotta do is take your bat and put it over your left eye if you're left-handed, your right eye if you're right-handed, your back eye, and just put it right here and just drop it. That's gonna tell you where your center of balance is, which is going to be right here, because remember, I'm moving forward, right? So it can't be in the middle and it can't be too far back, too far forward. You gotta find it, which is gonna be right here, okay? Now understand that there is no balance point. Please understand that, because we are dealing in movement, especially forceful forward movement, right? And when we deal with that, we've got counterbalancing that creates a center mass of balance. Meaning, right here, balance, right? Because let's just say this is forward movement, okay? Because it's more stacked and more energy is gonna go this way, this would be balance. If we started in our load, this would probably be balanced, maybe a little right here. So you can see it's not really in the middle, okay? Same thing here. If I'm gonna counterbalance and command the barrel throughout my entire swing, I've also gotta stay counterbalanced and create a center of balance all the way through my swing, right? Too many guys start like this and then they get outside of it when they swing, because I went at the ball with my front shoulder. I was loaded improperly in the beginning and then it pulled me this way because equal and opposite reactions, right? Remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite, because you've got to deal with not only your counterbalances, you've got to deal with centripetal force when you're hitting and creating a good swing, right? Come on over here, we're going to discuss it a little more. I'm going to kind of show you some stuff, okay? We've got our reader right here, and what this does is basically read your barrel speed, not your hand speed. Hand speed is going to be a lot quicker, but we don't hit with the knob. We hit with the barrel. So what the barrel's doing tells me how the ball's going to go, right? So ultimately speaking, I'm going to keep this cone right here, and we're going to start with getting outside of your center of balance, which would be right here, and making sure that we don't get outside, and which causes us to do this. You see this guy all the time, right? You see him on every youth field and even high school, and sometimes at the big league level when we do when we make a bad swing, we take a bad swing, right? So if I get outside, the only way that I can hit this is by getting out and around, because all of my energy now is going to what? Get sideways, because for every action is an equal and opposite reaction, and energy will dissipate in the least path of resistance, which is going to be the opposite movement plane, sideways. All right, so here we go. Let me turn this bad boy back on so you can kind of see the differences. All right, so we're going to be right here. I'm going to get outside of my hip, okay? Don't load like this. I hit the baseball. I got to do too much, and I feel like when the barrel starts to come around, it's gonna push me back. The subconscious move is to come sideways to counterbalance that. Watch again. Right? Oh, here we go. Outside. Okay? You see this guy all the time. Okay? Now if I did it right, you're gonna see this. I'm gonna stay inside. Okay? I feel my barrel being commanded a lot better. I feel more balanced. I feel like I'm in a better position of power at the start and the end of my swing, not just the start. Okay? Here's another thing when you're doing this. If I get too much this way, whether at the start or during my swing, it's gonna wrap me, right? So I get this way to counterbalance, I have to get underneath and around it, right? So the more you go this way and load, right? So you can start here, but if you load like this, it's gonna get you around. You have to do too much to stay inside the ball. But if I stay on top of my engine, which is right here, centered mass, boom, okay? Nice and grinded into my legs, and I load and I stay there, I'm gonna be able to do damage, okay? And remember, we try to deal in impact hitting, not just hit the baseball or try to get onto a team, okay? Here's the next one, okay? If I see, right, here's my load, I'm good, but load deals again throughout the entire swing, right? The entire swing, maintaining your load or your center of mass, okay? I see this pitch, I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for throwing that, right? Thanks for making a mistake, pitcher. And the first thing I do, it looks like a beach ball, is I do this. And I go at it with my head or front shoulder, which is a lot of guys. What happens is I've got to redirect. I go like that, load is done. Whether I started good, load is done. I fell off my bike. Watch what happens. Okay? Got to stay inside and underneath to get that pitch in order to compete, or I got to wrap, right? I'm exaggerating it for you, but you get the idea. Obviously, we know we should not go at the ball with our front side or our top head or our head, right? Because then you're playing into us pitchers where you're doing this, right? And then forward, back, you don't want that. We're not gonna even talk about that. Don't be that guy, okay? But if I stay center mass, the ball's outside, man, that's a beach ball. I'm like, hey, now I'm gonna be able to either put some runs across the plate or put this into the stands or just put some good wood to it. Make sure you maintain your core all the way through to where you're there. And then you release, and obviously you see the readings, right? One way to really help you out, let's move it back here so you can kind of see those things. One way to really help you out is our VPX torsion hip loop, okay? So I'm gonna start with this, you just step into it, okay? And what this does, and you put it right above your knees in that little slot. And what this is gonna do is if I get outside, it pulls me up, right? It's maintaining because I've gotta be here, don't obviously be like this. Keep your knees kind of out so it initiates and activates your core, right? And it keeps your head in the slot throughout the entire swing, right? So if I get outside of it, it's gonna kind of pull me up. If I go this way, it's gonna pull me this way, all right? So what I wanna do is start like this. It's also activating my butt here, and it's causing me not to do this, right? It's causing me to stay stacked, which is ultimately what I want throughout my entire swing. So I'm right here, I'm gonna get into that position, I'm gonna feel good about that, right? And just boom, boom, all right? I feel good, now maybe even do this. Hip move, right? Hip move. And then take a swing, hip move, swing, okay? Again, great drill to do right here. Boom, okay? Feel still stacked, hip move, right? So do it in motion. Hip move, swing, stay centered. It's building my lower half and giving me great opportunity to put a good swing on this ball. Put it all together right here. Good. I actually feel like I can hit. Here's another one, okay? If I got outside or did something wrong or got top heavy and went at the ball like this, watch what it does. I get outside, I don't even want to go because now I have to actually go forward. I got to put too much momentum. Not good, you'll feel it. If I go at the ball with my shoulder, my front shoulder or my head, right? What it's doing is the tension is causing my back foot to come up, right? So again, okay? Right here, it's gonna cause me to come up. My head's gonna go at it here. Right? Exaggeration, but you get the idea, okay? Great way to build your lower half, get your load proper, and to create balanced force not only in the beginning, but the end of your swing, which ultimately speaking, everyone, The end of your swing is really what determines whether you're going to be successful or not the beginning, because a lot of stuff has to happen between the beginning and end. It's not how you start, it's how you finish in the game, okay? So now I'm going to put my harness on, all right? This VPX harness, this harness is utilized by some of the biggest names in the game because it does one thing. It takes all the verbiage, all the technology, all the training, the knowledge, and puts it into your motor patterning so you can feel what's going right and going wrong, okay? In a nutshell, if I stand like this, I don't feel the bungees. We all know if I can do this all the way out here, I'm gonna be real good whether I'm a hitter or a pitcher. But as soon as I get top heavy, it pulls my back heel off the ground, as you can see, right? And as I get top heavy, I prematurely rotate, pulls it even more. So if you have hip problems, like hip rotation, premature, it pulls it off the ground. If I get top heavy or go at the ball with my front shoulder before and I don't stay stacked and I'm not heel connected, it pulls your back foot off the ground. That feedback is vital because what it's doing is it's telling you, hey, there's an energy or movement breakdown, and bam, I need to fix it. So the goal of using this is not to feel the bungees through your swing, okay? So watch what happens, slow motion. I get out, boom. I'm already gonna be right there. See my heel? It's coming up. I go at the ball with my front shoulder, heel's coming up. I can feel it. But if I don't, I stay stacked, heel stays down. You can see it. I'm not trying to do that. That feels comfortable right there, okay? So if I do it wrong, I'm gonna go at the ball with my front shoulder. You can see, straightens your back leg, doesn't feel good, you can't grind into it. I'm gonna be this guy that gets outside and loads incorrectly, has too much movement on the top, right here. Okay, feel it pushing me back, all right? Now if I do it right and I stay stacked, watch what happens. I'm staying stacked here, 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 all the way through, stay stacked. There it is. You can see the readings. I actually tried to swing a little lighter on that in order to be successful for you at home, but again, stay stacked all the way through. Okay? If I'm not stacked, I'm gonna come off stacked a little. Come off stacked, go at it. Okay? You get the idea. The bottom line is, your load is very important and you need to maintain it in the beginning and in the end. It's how you finish your load, not how you start your load, right? Check out all the other videos at VPX Baseball here on our YouTube and Instagram channels. And more importantly, we've got a good line of products to get you to the big leagues.